Welcome back to the GTM Podcast. It is I, Nick. Nobody here today. A little early for everybody. I understand. No big deal there. Sorry. Still a little early for me. Welcome back to the GTM Podcast. It's been about a week. No, about 2 weeks since I last uploaded an episode. Mainly because I felt like we didn't really have a topic, nor did we have really much to discuss last weekend. And really the most news that we were going to get was from the Battlefield 2042 beta, which happened Thursday into Saturday last week. I played for all 4 days, and I feel like I've gotten a good understanding of what we have so far. And it's okay. It's not fantastic. It could be better. But it's obviously, it's still about a week out. We got time to work on things. It's not bad in any stretch of the word. I mean, I you look at the Battlefield Reddit, which has turned into like this battlefield, no pun intended, but it's turned into just this massive mess of people saying that, they need to delay it for like a year, which is completely out of the question in my opinion. Then again, this whole podcast is based around the idea that these are opinions of our own. These aren't facts. These are just what we believe. And you can have a differing opinion all you want, but you shouldn't shit on other people for just an opinion. That's really the general consensus of this podcast, is we're allowed to have our own opinions of what we feel and what we like, so, I mean, who cares? You can think that the game should be delayed for a year all you want, that's completely fine, but me personally, I don't believe it really needs to be delayed for a year. I think that's a little excessive. I think I'm going to just go ahead and pause the music and edit it in post. There we go, a little bit better. The main thing that I have a problem with for the podcast, for Battlefield was the only mode that we really got during the beta was the all-out war mode, which is like their updated Conquest, and it was cool. It was a cool map, but It offered a glimpse at the weather system, which was cool. We were able to see the tornadoes rip through the map and ride the tornadoes with, parachutes or whatever. So that was cool. We got to see the rocket take off. The graphics looked great. They looked fantastic, in my opinion. I mean, weather effects and everything were on point for me. I didn't have a problem with them. Gunplay's fun. Going back to a modern Battlefield was something I was really hoping we were going to do, especially after 5. Battlefield 1 was cool. It was a cool title to have, and I played it for about, if I had to say cumulatively, I played Battlefield 1 for about I'd say 30-40 hours. It wasn't bad. It's just it wasn't for me. Like, it was fun when I played it with other people, but I wouldn't play it like by myself. That's just not how I would play Battlefield 1. I would play Battlefield 4 by myself, but I wouldn't play Battlefield 1 by myself. Battlefield 5 was a train wreck, if you ask the Battlefield community. Still kind of is, in my opinion. Looking at Battlefield 2042, though, I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed what we were given with the beta. We got to see the quick customization for your weapons on the fly, which was very appreciated. I liked being able to just quickly change my attachments on the fly, even though we really didn't get a gun, customization option outside of in-game. or a character customization thing outside of the in-game. We didn't even get to see character customization really at all. I don't think. I never really saw it myself. I'm sure somebody probably did, but I didn't really get to experience all that. I got to see the gun customization. That was about it. It was fun. It was very enjoyable. Some things need to be tweaked. Yes, I do agree. But in my opinion, really, the 5-week period that we have from now until, release is a good enough time frame to get the kinks worked out of what we have right now. You have people saying that, it needs to be delayed for like 6 months to a year, and I feel like that's just way too fucking excessive. I feel like people who are saying it needs to be delayed that long are just delaying they're delaying for a reason that either it doesn't make much sense or it does make sense. I don't really fucking know. It's cumulatively what the Reddit page is saying is like they don't want a bad game at launch. But what I played during the beta, if I got that at launch, I'd be okay with it. It wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be okay for me. Because I'm not really huge into Conquest on Battlefield in general. I was more so into the team deathmatch, mainly because that was like your quick way of leveling. For me at least, in Battlefield 3, I would, hop onto team deathmatch, nosh our canals, and just grind that shit out for like a whole day, and upgrade my engineer class till I got the G36C, and then that was fucking it. I got my gun, started using it as a primary, I got all the attachments, ran that shit like it was nothing. But you've also got Battlefield 4, which changed the leveling stats a little bit. So like instead of using a specific class to unlock weapons, you unlock them by using specific weapons. So if you use assault rifles, the more you use assault rifles, the more assault rifles you will unlock. So the same thing with carbines, which is what G36 was in Battlefield 4. My only hope is that Battlefield 2042 has a lot of weapons, because if you look at Battlefield 4, holy fuck was there a lot of carbines, there was a lot of assault rifles, there was a lot of DMRs and sniper rifles and shotguns, and the list goes on. Pistols were, extensive as well. But I'm really hoping that we get a lot of guns for 2042, because we really only got to see 2 assault rifles, 2 PDWs. I think you could unlock a second LMG. I'm not really a big LMG user. And 1 sniper rifle. And you got 2 pistols. What was essentially the Glock, and you also got a 44 Magnum. But the Magnum is fucking awesome. On point. I love it. It was really fun to use. But so is the pistol. The pistol was also really fun to use as well. It also had, I'd say it had the 3-round burst switch for the pistol, so you could use it either as a semi-automatic or a 3-round burst. Using it for 3-round burst was definitely a very big help, especially in those close quarter situations in specific areas of the all-out war map that we got, which was, I think, orbital or something like that. Which if you don't know what orbital is the map shown in the trailers with the rocket that's supposed to go off and fly up into space. Cool enough. There was a match that I was in where you get to see the tornado come through and just rip through as the rocket's gonna take off, and it blows up the rocket. So there are some cool moments that you can only see if the weather system times it correctly with the rocket going off. So there are cool things to see, especially in Battlefield now with the new weather effects. Personally, I was really hoping that the map that we got for beta was going to be the city map. Me and my friend, me and Yanni, we both agree that the city map would have given us a very good idea of not only we would get better sniper vantage points. So not only would it be good for people who want to fight close quarters, because there's obviously buildings you can go in and out of. There's also high up buildings, which give snipers a good vantage point to, practice sniping. There were some areas in the orbital map which you could snipe from if you wanted to. On top of the building opposite the rocket was a good place. On top of the building where the rocket is was also a very good point, but it felt like snipers were not your main choice of weapon for this beta, because there weren't many good points to be using it at. That, like I said, that could have been different for everybody, but personally I felt like if you wanted to have a good experience in the beta, you would use assault rifles or the PDWs, which are just, the submachine guns. That being said, the Chris Vector is making its return from Battlefield Hardline, and I am fucking in love with that gun. It was amazing to use. The rate of fire was perfect. Not as perfect as it is in real life, but it was pretty spot on. The other PDW we got was I can't remember what exactly it was called, but it was also really fucking solid. I would run that PDW with just a foregrip suppressor and no sight. I would just keep it all iron sight, because even the iron sight on that gun was fucking fantastic. Some things I would like to see changed. I would like to see vehicles be changed a little bit. I'd like to see... Here's my problem. In the game mode that we got, it's all-out warfare. It's 128 players, right? I would like to see not only, vehicles be, expanded upon. Give us a little bit more vehicles to use. I'm sure there's going to be more to use. But I want to see more vehicles on the map. If you notice in Battlefield 4, if you're playing Conquest and you go to a specific objective, or if you die and you go to the objective spawn map thing where you can click on whatever objective is taken by your team, at those objectives there are vehicles that are at the objective that you can spawn on, whereas in this there are none. You can only spawn on vehicles that are at your base. I'd like to see the return of that vehicle spawn list, so that way it's not just simply, oh, you're at base, you can get in this this tank, or oh, you're at this objective, well, good luck finding a car. And it really does hurt, in my opinion, the multiplayer experience when the objectives that are being taken are further away from where the objectives that you currently have, and you have to go, let's say you're spawning at C and objective E, which is halfway across the map, is being taken, so you have to run from C to E because there's no vehicles nearby. They need to change that just a little bit, even if it's just as simple as a four-wheeler at fucking each objective. Something, even if it's just one vehicle. We need the option. They don't mark vehicles on the map for you, as far as I know. You can find, on Orbital, you could find trucks and four-wheelers, and that was pretty much it. But they were never marked on, the map for when you were choosing an objective to spawn on. You could also be oh, I'll spawn on this four-wheeler. That was not in the beta. It was, very tiresome to have to say, oh, well, I can't spawn at E or B, so I guess I'm gonna have to just spawn at C and run all the way there. And that really sucked. And you had to get lucky if you died and you went to the spawn map to see, holy shit, somebody has the helicopter right now. That's pretty cool. And you spawn on them. A good weapon, not good weapon, but a good vehicle that I like to use. I'd like to take the primary gunner seat inside the VTOL. That thing was fucking awesome. Most people would take, every match that I played in, everybody would try to go for B objective, because it was the top of the tower, and everybody would just fly up super high and parachute down on top of the building, and it'd be just chaos on top of that building. It was fun. It was so fun. I enjoyed every moment of that. And getting inside the VTOL secondary gunner, or primary gunner, was so good, especially if that building was taken over by the enemy team, because it was literally you get I think it's 6 shots with the primary gun. You have to wait for it to reload itself, but it was like 3 shots and like it killed players, and you literally just had like one guy who was like going in circles around that building, and you were just getting kills out the ass. It was awesome. I loved every moment of that. Some things that yeah, I personally, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think that we should have gotten 2 maps with the beta. Because, I mean, I know it's a beta and they're only supposed to give you like a tease of what is to come. But at the same time, I'd like to see not only, just the fucking, like the weather effects, but I'd like to see the other weather effects. Like, I'd like to see the map that was shown in the gameplay trailer at E3. No, not E3. Was it E3 or was it EA Live? EA Play. Whichever. The gameplay where they showed the desert city and they had like the sandstorm that was rolling through, I would love to have played on that map, because I want to see like how does the sandstorm interact with the environment, how does it change the way that you play it, because all that we were really able to see with sandstorm was it rips through and it can fuck up vehicles, but I want to see what it's like to play on the ground as an infantryman trying to fight through the sandstorm, which I don't think we really got to see. I might be wrong, but at the same time, I like to see what we get with that. That's definitely something that I feel could really change the way that we play game modes such as Conquest, or even Team Deathmatch if these weather effects make their way into Team Deathmatch. Yeah, I think that would be a really good change. This beta has not diminished my expectations. I would say that I was thoroughly happy. I was thoroughly happy, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the beta. I don't think that it needs to be delayed for a year. I think that's just being a little excessive. If they had to delay it, I wouldn't be upset if they delayed it for like, I don't know, two more weeks or whatever. I don't want them to, because I enjoyed it a lot, and I feel like they have 5 weeks to get their shit together, and that's 5 weeks that should be enough time. I'm not a game developer myself. I just feel that all these problems that they had during the beta that I saw were not something that takes like fucking a year to fix. It shouldn't take a year to fix. Besides that, something else I had a problem with was differentiating from your teammates and the enemy team is very difficult to do, seeing as each team gets the same operators and they're all stylized the exact same as each team. It's hard to differentiate like one McKay from the other McKay, and it makes it really difficult, especially in close quarter situations like on top of B, which is the huge building across from the space shuttle or the rocket or whatever, where you get up on top of a building and you look across and you see McKay and you're like, okay, I think that's a good guy, and then you all of a sudden get shot in the head by him. Like, fuck, I didn't see the red dot above his head that's very faint. So that's something I'd like to see changed. I want to see changes to the ways that we differentiate enemy teammates from the enemy players from teammates. That's something that I think needs to be implemented before launch, because trying to differentiate from the two is just way too hard. Not really much else I can think of. I guess probably the fact that nobody in the fucking beta ever revived anybody. I mean, I've seen maybe like 2 or 3 cases where I was revived by another person, but people they weren't using. I don't want to say they weren't using their brains, but they weren't really thinking, because no matter what class you choose, you can revive a teammate as long as they're not dead. If you're shot down, you go into like a I'm down, somebody help me phase, where the only way for somebody to revive you is to come over and hit you with the what is it called, the the shock paddles, essentially. So, like, if they shock you when you're down on the ground, it brings you back up and you can start fighting again. However, if you, like, let's say you get blown up out of a helicopter and you fall, like, 15 stories down to the ground, you're dead. There is no fucking reviving from that. The idea is that, you know, everybody can revive anybody, so that there is no, like, oh, well, how come nobody on our team is playing medic? Like, there is a medic class, yes, but their objective is really to provide healing after revival. So Maria gets the healing dart, which if you shoot it at a player that has low health, it'll obviously heal them and you get points. And I think you get there's like a ribbon or something you get for being like reviving teammates or assisting teammates or something like that. And then they can also equip the healing gadget, I think, which is the healing kit. I think that can be equipped to anybody though, I'm not sure. The only thing that I do know is that the specific like the items that are assigned to the classes specifically, like McKay's grappling hook, or the turret for the big Russian dude, or the drone for the sniper class, or the healing gun for Maria. The items, I would prefer more variety. Like, allow me to change it. You know, if I don't want the healing, you know, gun, I'd rather have something that can either do a little bit more if I use it enough. Like, if I level up a lot with, you know, Maria, I get a level, or like the next step up from that, you know? Something that if I use it on somebody will instantly heal them back to full health. But I can only use it once every like 5 minutes or so. Something along the lines of that. And I'd like for McKay. McKay's grappling hook is fine. I mean, it's useful. It has its usefulness, but really didn't see much need for it. People can disagree if they want. I mean, I didn't really use the grappling hook all that much. Never really used the turret. My friend Yanni, I keep saying my friend. You guys know fucking Yanni. Yanni used the turret a lot, and he thoroughly enjoyed his time with the turret. I used the drone once and realized how fucking useless it is, for me at least, and I never played with that again. I feel like they gave the sniper class one of the weaker of the three. For tools, I mean, I guess with the drone you can spot things, but at the same time, I mean, if you're at a high enough vantage point, you can spot fucking anything. You really don't need a drone for that. Unless you can like attach like a gun to the drone and you can like shoot people like it's the EOD bot from Battlefield 3 and 4. That'd be pretty cool. I'm looking for, you know, the things that I want are very tiny and very minuscule as to compare to what the Reddit wants. The Battlefield Reddit wants fucking, like, they want everything to change. They basically want the game to be fucking broken down and rebuilt from the ground up. And I don't think that that's really necessary. I get that people have their concerns, and I get that people don't want a buggy game at launch, but I hate to say it. In my opinion, there isn't ever going to be a game from here on out that doesn't release buggy. It's just going to happen. I guess that you could say, well, I'd rather have a game that is more stable than a game that isn't stable. And you could say that, yes, but this beta was very fucking stable, in my opinion. I was able to get in, play a few matches, get off, come back in the next day, play a few matches, and get off without really any problems. I didn't have any, like, netcode errors, or I didn't have any, like, lagging issues where I would rubber band across the map. I didn't have any sort of connectivity. There was nothing. I was able to connect into a match, enjoy the time of that match, get off, go to bed, wake up the next day, do whatever, and then play a little bit more. I didn't have problems is the main thing, and all it takes is one person to have a bad time and then just shit all over it, and then somebody else starts to notice some little small problems that they make instantly huge. I don't really see the huge problem with Battlefield 2042. I enjoyed my time. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I feel that my time that I had in Battlefield 2042 warrants a purchase and warrants, a reasonable release time. I don't want to have to wait another fucking year to play fucking Battlefield because someone's like, well, I had an issue. And I get that, the game should release perfectly. That's the world that we want. We want a game to release perfectly. It's just not the way the world works anymore. It doesn't work that way. This is also, EA. EA will fucking... EA fast-tracked Anthem. Anthem was a game that everybody anticipated because it was new. It was groundbreaking. It had new things that we weren't really used to. And we got Anthem, and we were disappointed by it because it wasn't up to expectations because EA fast-tracked it. Pushed it out the door before it was even fucking finished. And then, not only that, but when it was released, the developers were like, we're really sorry about this. And then, they were like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to release an Anthem 2.0, which is basically a rework of the whole fucking game, breaks it down from the ground up, and we build it back. We build it right back to what we feel is an acceptable game. Not only was that a great idea, but knowing what they were going to change was going to fix the game completely. But EA stepped in and said this project isn't worth it and scrapped it. So now Anthem will always stay the same Anthem because EA didn't want to put the time nor the money into it, not trusting the developers to actually do what needs to be done. This is also the same fucking company that said that they wanted to have microtransactions in Battlefront 2, took them out, and then put them back in not too long after with a microtransaction that allows you to instantly win the match. That's the company that said no to fixing a game. So, if anybody's gonna be pissed off at a company, I wouldn't say to be pissed off at EA. Or no, it's not EA. Sorry, be pissed off at EA. They suck ass. If you're gonna be pissed off at anybody, be pissed off at EA, not at whoever is. I want to say it's DICE, but I don't think DICE is making this Battlefield. Let me do a quick check. Battlefield 2042. It's DICE. DICE is making this one. Hold on, my fucking chair is touching the floor. Oh. Okay, so yes, DICE is making Battlefield 2042. EA is publishing it, and they can eat dick because they are fucking... EA is a scam company. I'm sorry, but they suck ass. They are the worst fucking company in the world. I would go so far as to say that they are worse than scammers who scam old people out of their retirement. That's how fucking much I hate them. Because EA is the opposite of Batman. They constantly go up and they're like, hey guys, here's E3. This is a new game that we're making that's awesome. And we're publishing it. Whatever. They're not making shit. Like, this is our game. Isn't it fun? And isn't it cool? And they show us this game, and everybody gets their expectations up there. And they're like, holy shit, DICE is making this? Awesome. Holy shit, Square Enix is making this? That's fucking awesome. Holy shit, fucking Bethesda. Even though it's never gonna happen. Bethesda's making this. Oh, that's fucking awesome. And then they're like, oh, this is really cool. They're watching the gameplay, and then, it gets to the final screen where it shows the title of the game. And you notice at the bottom it says, either DICE, or it says fucking Square Enix, or it says something. Like, oh, cool, that's who's making it? That's awesome. And then right fucking next to it, you see EA, you're like, nope, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna suck. And that's what hurts, is the fact that EA only has to make an appearance for people to know that shit's about to go sideways. it sucks so much that they used to be a top dog company. They published some great fucking games. The original Medal of Honor games were fucking something I played a lot in my childhood, and I can't believe that they made them. And they fucking fuck everything up now. How do you go from like a company that makes great games to fucking just being a bunch of greedy people? How the fuck does that happen? I don't know. So yes, some things I want to fix with Battlefield 2042, some things I liked, some things I didn't like, some things that I think are ready, some things I don't think are ready, some things that, either way, the game is going to release November 10th for people who it's going to be available for preload November 10th and available to play November 12th for people who pre-ordered, and available November 19th for people who didn't pre-order. Personally, I feel like that is a perfect time frame, and I feel like the release date should be set in stone. Shouldn't have to delay it. Just give it some time. These 5 weeks should be enough time for anybody to be able to go ahead and fix the problems, or even fix some very simple bugs, and then fix these features post-launch. I don't really care. I'm so tired of fucking not having a Battlefield game to play that I will fucking play whatever they release. I'll fucking play. I don't care. I don't want to play Battlefield 5. I fucking hate Battlefield 5. I don't want to play Battlefield 1. I don't fucking really want to play it. I can't play Battlefield Hardline. And people shit all over Battlefield Hardline, but honest to God, I thought it was pretty fun. People shit all over it, but, it had a solid game. It was pretty solid. It wasn't, fucking better than Battlefield 4 by any means, or better than Battlefield 3 by any means, or Bad Company 2 by any means, but it was pretty good. Now at this point in time, I would fucking take it over anything. I don't want to play 1 or 5. I would like to play Hardline, but you can't fucking play it on PC because nobody fucking plays it on PC. You can, I went last night to go and try and play a match, but there's only 9 people playing it. Why? So, I guess if you like Battlefield 4, which I'm burnt out of Battlefield 4, I've played it for, 2 years on Xbox, and then I got a PC, and I played it for, 4 years or something like that. I played it for a very fucking long time, to the point of where I have everything that I could have ever wanted in Battlefield 4, and I just don't see the point, because there's nothing for me to really unlock. I'm done. And World War III is really the only other game that I'd be really excited to play, but there's also fucking nothing about that either. There's an alpha 2 weeks ago. No, it was the weekend before the beta for Battlefield 2042. I played one match, but then I had to go do a bunch of bullshit, and now that's over, and I can't fucking play it. So I had to go based off the 1 hour experience that I had in World War III's new alpha for their big update that they're doing, and I enjoyed what I played. Thought it was fantastic. It was a great rework to what they already had in the base game. So anything that they can add to that, I'm welcoming with open arms. Yep. Alrighty, well, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to go ahead and give it a like on YouTube. Follow it. Follow us on SoundCloud or fucking wherever. If you want to go to the gtmpodcast.squarespace.com. You find out a little bit more information about us as a group. You can see the GTM episodes tab, where you can see every episode that we've ever made uploaded in numerical order. You can go to soundcloud.com/the GTM Podcast, listen to the audio-only version of the podcast. You can go to youtube.com/the GTM Podcast to watch the video version of the podcast. You can also go to Spotify and look for the GTM Podcast, and you can listen to us on Spotify. I don't really have any closing statements. All I can say is, if you want to delay Battlefield for another year, why? Why do you want to put yourself through a year's worth of hell waiting for the next modern game? It's just, this is just an opinion. If people shit all over me for my opinion, I don't care. It's an opinion. You shouldn't take an opinion to heart. But when you see the entire community saying that they need to delay it for a year, I personally, I didn't notice anything wrong with that. That's really all it boils down to. I didn't really notice anything wrong with that. So, if you want to delay it for a year, it's completely your opinion. That's cool. You're entitled to your own opinion, just like I am mine. Anyway, I'm getting a little too ahead of myself with this one. Alrighty, well, you guys have a great week.